Frost is rolling up Cole. Frost is gonna steal it from Cole from LBC. No! Heisman kick. Derek Cole to retain. Derek Cole has done it. Cole thinks this shit ends here. He's out of his mind. This dude keeps running, keeps ducking, and it's gonna get him smoked sooner rather than later. I don't want to talk about what happened with Marco. It was a miscommunication, that's all I gotta say. I've been saying I never move alone. Unlike Derek, I don't start messing around with the title. But if it's open season, it's open season. And that's what you done, Derek. If TJ wants to smoke again, he can get back in line. I don't give a damn. But right now, I gotta focus on either Kurt Andrews or Midnight. What TJ doesn't understand is the life of a champion never stops. He wants this belt for a reward. I want it to make the Apex title the best thing going. There's levels to this shit, and TJ Frost ain't on mine. Keep running, bitch. We ain't done yet. Gentlemen, welcome to Evolution. We are on the road to the Manhattan Center. Battle at Broadway is 3 weeks away. And we know that coming off of the 3 strikes match, the 2 participants in that historic event are in 2 completely different directions. And this is the man that Garrett Gibson seems to be on a collision course with. An underground legend on the level of a Lancelot, of an Omega Woods. Guys that came from the underground that defined the sport. Garrett Gibson wants all the smoke. Ultimate, a man who is always willing to step up to a challenger. But could Braddock be a level above where Ultimate is right now? As much as I like Max Ultimate, I think he's a tremendous wrestler. I think he has just an unlimited future and potential here. Braddock is established. He's one of the greatest in the history of the underground. So Max Ultimate's gonna be tested in this fight. But that doesn't mean that he can't pull it off. Upsets have happened before, and for Braddock, the possibility of a loss right here ahead of a fight with Garrett Gibson, that might be all he can take. Early kick out from Max Ultimate. We know we've got a packed show coming tonight. We announced last week that Lancelot will be taking on Devon Andrews, and in the main event, it's a #1 contenders match. Apex Championship, Midnight versus Kurt Andrews. You heard Derek Cole refer to that in his post-match press conference after his fight with TJ Frost last week. In addition, we found out today that Yamamoto will be putting the Rise title on the line against one of these Sakamoto sisters. I think that is in direct response to Caitlin Dunlap and the challenges that she's been making recently. So, we could possibly see Moto and Dunlap on a collision course for Battle at Broadway as well. So much still to come regarding our trip to the Manhattan Center, as well as the identity of a host for Battle at Broadway. It's the first time we've ever done that. I can't tell you who it is because I don't know who it is. Look at this, I like this little surfboard stretch here from Braddock. Ultimate able to muscle himself out. You can see Ultimate's gotten bigger, especially around the chest area. Been doing a lot of work on the pecs, and it allows him to muscle out of submissions like that, where last year it may have given him a lot of trouble. Ultimate is making improvements every day. Obviously, he's been working with Ramon Gutierrez as part of the Ultimate Flight tag team. They've been working together extensively during the offseason. Both of them have made huge improvements. They were one of the first to step up to the Gotti crime family, now with Chandler Marcy on their side. Ultimate, first cover of the match is a 1 count. besides all the incredible matches that we have on tap, I'm told that Omega Woods is in the building following his confrontation with Lancelot and the Raw champion Santanico last week. So where that could lead us, I don't know. But again, I sense that the Manhattan Center might be the destination. Braddock caught that strike from Ultimate and a slam. Talking about Braddock as an opponent of Garrett Gibson, I mean, this is an underground wrestler through and through. We always talk about the versatility. Braddock is more versatile than almost anyone out there. And here's the strength and the striking ability. Braddock absolutely blasts Max Ultimate, and Ultimate savvy enough to grab the rope. Braddock thought he had it right there, and he may have, but Ultimate, brilliant play. There was some controversy surrounding a rope break at After Party this past Friday. War Machine may have lost their titles. Max Ultimate lands a kick square in the jaw. Braddock survives. Lesser men have succumbed to that kick. Ultimate springboard moonsault. What an opening match here as Max Ultimate going toe-to-toe with an underground legend. This is the improvement that he's made. Braddock, what a knee strike, high velocity, caught him between the eyes. Braddock walks out the winner. An impressive showing, to be sure, for Max Ultimate. But Braddock is too good on this occasion. And Garrett Gibson, I know he's coming off one of the biggest wins of his life in the 3 strikes match. Braddock might be a different animal altogether. And Braddock wants Gibson to prove that he's on this level.
Burn him, burn him. How much money I be making, I'ma burn him. Burn him, I'ma murk him. And if they playing with his fire, I'ma burn him. Murder, it's a murder.
Well, I did mention that Omega Woods was in the house. And it seems like the Gunslinger is headed to the ring. I know that he's going to want to address what happened last week. He got into a war of words with Lancelot and Santanico. And you say dream match, that might not even describe those 3. But we need to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So hopefully Omega Woods can shine a little bit of light on what he might be thinking as far as his confrontation with those 2. First of all, I know I'm a day late, but I just want to pay tribute to everyone who was lost and all the people who are still grieving after all this time, after September 11, 2001. In 3 weeks, we're going to be in New York. There ain't nobody like New Yorkers. I know that almost better than anybody. And I just love being around strength like that. 21 years later, and you're all still as strong as any people in the entire world. But let's talk business. You know there's no other way I do things. I had actually planned to come back sometime around now. My body was broken after Nitro last year. I was just waiting for Sam Hunt to come back. I kept telling myself I couldn't show up before he did, because what kind of a man would brush off that kind of loss? A loss that I was responsible for. But the weeks turned into months and no Sam Hunt. And I realized I couldn't let another man dictate how I move. And then I saw Lancelot come out here. And then Santanico. And all I could see in my mind was a bullseye. I've stuck 100 elk in my time, and every shot I fire, I see the spot I'm trying to hit like it was on a billboard. That's exactly what I saw when those 2 walked out here last week. Fresh meat. Prime targets. It's an odd thing to call an undefeated champion a prime target, but none of you know Santanico like I do. For all the pomp and circumstance, all the fear he tries to inspire, I know better than almost anyone he's a cold, calculated son of a bitch. Every move he makes, he's thought ahead. He controls everything he does. He doesn't pick out the brand of nails he eats in the morning without careful consideration. So when he went out there against Lancelot, he thought he was walking out to face down a broken man. Physically and mentally, Lancelot is not who he used to be, especially after the 3 strikes match. So Santanico believed he could add a notch to his rifle against an underground legend before everyone realized the state Lancelot was in. He'd been planning that ever since Lancelot cost Garrett Gibson the title, defending the Raw Championship against the hollowed out shell of a god. And that's when I knew it was my time. Ain't no way Santanico planned for old Omega Woods to come out. And that's what puts the fear of God in him. Any y'all wonder why Santanico spent his first 5 months here speaking in different languages, beating the life out of nobodies, and staying away from championships? It's because he spent months carefully cultivating this mysterious masked face that people would fear before he ever got into the ring. He had Midnight's demise planned out before he even uttered that man's name. But now he's come up against a man who knows every trick he's got. Santanico, everywhere we've been across the long years of our careers, you've never been able to disillusion me like everybody else. For every win you've had over me, I've had 5 over you, because I don't let the red lights, the creepy metaphors, and the gaudy record take my focus away from your weakness. You're scared, Santanico. You're scared that now everyone in the world can see you're just second best. You're scared that the veneer you've created yourself can just fall away. You're scared that you showed up here and spent a year planning to win the Underground's title, only for the Underground's real killer to come take it from you and add your boots to my collection. You're scared that you're gonna be just like everyone else, begging at the feet of Omega Woods. And Lancelot, I haven't forgotten about you either. I meant what I said about you being a broken man, but that don't make you any less dangerous. There is no one that has exemplified the Underground any more than you, especially here. But I think you're scared too. I think the fear of losing, of failing, has finally found you after all these years, because it doesn't get any easier here. Every single champion at every single level in GAW is better than the last, and there are legends here who have yet to hold singles gold. One of the hardest battles of my life was against Yunsan Park, a battle I chose so I could prove myself here, and that took everything I had. And you're afraid that the prestige you've earned will melt away just like that. But Lancelot, I want you to listen to me. It will melt away, and I'll be the one with the candle. And when the wax of your once legendary career is sitting, boiling on the list of all the names I have conquered to become the next Raw champion, I will put my mark in it right then and there. Seal my legend with the biggest name there's ever been. I want you to always know that when the 3 of us clash on the biggest stage we have ever seen, Omega Woods will hold 2 pairs of boots of the 2 deadliest men the Underground has ever produced. But most importantly, I will leave New York as the Underground's champion, undisputed. No matter how you shake it, we're headed to Broadway. So GAW, let's ride. Wow, unbelievable from Omega Woods. He has his sights on the Raw champion, And we'll get a sneak peek of just how good he is as he makes his Season 3 debut next week in the main event against Lee Carr. It's the Ultimate Cinderella against GAW's Killer. And I can't wait to see that go down. Title match is just second on the card here. That is how big we have made Evolution, just 3 weeks away from Battle at Broadway. And it sounds like Omega Woods is heading there himself. And if it is true, if we are really going to see Omega Woods versus Lancelot versus Santanico, that might just be the biggest match maybe in underground, maybe in world history. I don't want to be hyperbolic. It's probably the biggest match in underground history. I don't know. But I don't want to speculate because we could potentially see a two-time champion ascend here today. Katherine Sakamoto is as dangerous as they come. I just hope Yamamoto's ready. As brave a face as Yamamoto could possibly put on, knowing that Caitlin Dunlap is waiting around the corner. But I will tell you this, there is no one as fearless as Yamamoto. We heard from Lance Storm recently here on Evolution that Yamamoto came in as one of the highest rated prospects GAW has ever had, and yet she still continued to improve her game, and I think that includes adding an edge so even Caitlin Dunlap can't get into her head. Well, let's see if that works. He's got to worry about Katherine Sakamoto right now, who is anything but an afterthought, a former Rise champion herself, and much like Yamamoto, also beat Lazara. And then, of course, Katherine, Yamamoto, and Lazara were all involved in a three-way dance. 2 out of 3 falls to crown a champion. Katherine came out victorious, so this is a great measuring stick for Yamamoto to see how much she's improved, and she's going to get tested early to kick out at 1. I am just floored by the amount of stuff, for lack of a better word, that is happening in GAW right now. Not only do we have all of the happenings here on Evolution, Derek Cole and TJ Frost, that's still not done, but he's going to get a new #1 contender. We've got Yamamoto putting her title on the line, and then Caitlin Dunlap waiting in the wings. And then, of course, Woods, Santanico, Lancelot. That's kind of percolating somewhere in the ether. And that's all just on Evolution. The Rookie of the Year tournament is absolutely popping up. Takahashi just suffered his first loss in an unbelievable match with Adonis Carter. We've got over on Storm, Adam Cole is the new world champion. So go watch After Party if you haven't seen it already. I mean, it's just unbelievable what has happened in GAW just over the last couple of weeks. And we've got more. And then, of course, the all-important host of Battle at Broadway to be announced at some point, presumably. Moto again using her superior strength and skill against Katherine. Moto can outstrike most women she comes up against. Katherine may be the exception to that, given Katherine's MMA background and who she's beaten in her mixed martial arts career. And we're seeing it here, Katherine, beautiful hip toss and the knee. A grounded Yamamoto taking a knee right to the jaw. cover here from Katherine. Oh. We know how dangerous Moto is. She battled the rookie Victoria a couple weeks ago. Victoria also was able to kind of get an advantage on Moto, but Moto has an equalizer in the form of her devastating lariat game. That's how she defeated Victoria. A discus clothesline out of midair ended Victoria's night on that occasion. So Katherine can never be safe. I'm sure she knows that though. Moto, oh, she went to the body, well done. Again, that's the depth that she has. It's not just sort of the A-level skills that she possesses. It's not just her mastery of the Rainmaker. It's those secondary skills. Going to the body, mixing things up, changing levels. But Katherine Sakamoto can do that as well as anyone. And now Sakamoto stare at the lights. Yamamoto out of the way. And now Moto caught her with the back. Rainmaker. Oh my goodness. Good night, Katherine. Yamamoto defends the Rise title. Katherine flying from the heavens with the stare at the lights, but Moto as skilled as any woman we have ever seen. Call that a defense of the Rise Championship for the young phenom. Hey, Moto. So it's apparently not that hard to put down one of the, what's your name, honey? Or whatever. It's not hard to put down one of these people. So if you ever want a real competition sometime, I can meet you in New York. Okay, baby? Let me tell you something about Midnight. You don't win 20 some odd matches in a row. You don't make 14 defenses of a championship that you brought into the company if you don't have some level of skill. So I don't want it to be known that Kurt Andrews doesn't respect what Midnight did last season. However, it was last season. What has Midnight done this season? Well, he came back in the Rumble on the Beach, did absolutely nothing, and the only reason he's here now is as a make-good, as a thank you for some imagined contribution from Season 2. Whereas Kurt Andrews, the greatest wrestler GAW has ever known, I am here because anytime, any place, anywhere, Kurt Andrews is a champion. And I could go somewhere else, I could be a champion all day, but the reason I stay here is because it is Kurt Andrews' job, it is my job to raise the Apex Championship above everything else. And I appreciate that Derek Cole's been keeping it warm. He hasn't buried it, he hasn't totally tanked it like some people we know, but it does mean that Kurt Andrews is coming. And once I brush off Midnight, once I send him down to Davy Jones' locker, is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Once I do that, Derek, I'm coming back for that title that I made relevant. This might be the match that I was most looking forward to from tonight. As brash, as arrogant as Kurt Andrews is, what we have learned beyond a shadow of a doubt from the last year is that the Andrews brothers are not all talk. They can back it up. And unfortunately for Devon, this man has gone through a buzzsaw of competitors so far in Season 3. So his record, not fantastic comparatively speaking. But you look at the men that he's faced. He's had to deal with Santonico, he's had to deal with Braddock, now he has to deal with Lancelot. This man has probably had the hardest strength of schedule of anyone, and I'm including the champions. That's what the Andrews brothers are about. And I hate to say anything good about these two, but They are fearless. They are arrogant. They are confident to a fault.
Feel
like I'm king of the pirates, give me the choice and I'm choosing the violence. I don't give a fuck if you like it, all of this blood they get me excited. People are blinging their diamonds, look at me wrong and I'm pulling the iron. Your life is nothing to a tyrant, so we don't leave any survivors.
This is a different Lancelot than what we've seen, certainly than the man we saw leading into that 3 strikes match. You know, they do say that you can learn more from losing than you do from winning. That's certainly been something that we've seen play out over on Rookie of the Year. And I think for Lancelot, that is certainly the case, because he looks a lot different coming off the 3 strikes match and might just land himself into a title picture while Garrett Gibson is trying to make himself a permanent legacy. Lancelot just has a different way of looking at this, given all of his experience, but it could grind to a halt right here. I don't think Lancelot will have much of a claim to the Raw Championship if he can't get it done here against Devon Andrews. This, of course, our semi-main still to come. Kurt Andrews versus Midnight. #1 contendership for the Apex title is on the line. That first cover ineffective. Lancelot 450. Of course, the Raw Championship is the Underground's title, so it behooves all of these guys involved to show their versatility. We always see that from Lancelot, but if anything, he's going more for it now. And obviously, he saw what Omega Woods had to say earlier. A bone-chilling message to Lancelot and Santanico. Andrews with a beautiful slam as Lancelot tried to explode off those hips. Now Andrews ground and pound. No, it's turned. Lancelot caught Andrews unaware. Couple unprotected shots to the head, and Lancelot once again takes the lead in the match in terms of momentum. There's the knee. It's caught by Devon this time. 3rd time was the charm for Devon to catch up to that one. A rare moment of predictability for Lancelot. And now Devon. What a shot from the top rope. Devon Andrews mashed him with that right. Now Devon, that's a receipt for Lancelot. Again, this is a guy with a lot to prove here. You gotta credit Lancelot for taking on a match like this. But he wants to prove that he deserves to be in the Raw picture. And to be quite honest, he's got some proving to do. You lose the 3 strikes match, and we need to know where you're at. Nice left, straight left from Devon. Opens Lancelot up and a silent suplex. That's where Devon excels, when he's able to use his striking to open you up for the grapples. It's a 2 count. We've seen it so many times from Devon Andrews in the past. It's why he is the most dangerous free agent in the world. But again, his record not where he wants it to be. So he is going to be extra motivated, knowing the stakes of this match for Lancelot. Oh, what a face buster. Well, Devon recovered from an early deficit, and now from the top, Devon's gonna fly with a neck breaker. He went over the top, and Lancelot, as skilled as he is, I think he might still be reeling from the 3 strikes match. I don't know if he's 100% just yet. You can still see the scarring around his eyes, the tape around his midsection. You can see some extra padding in his boots as well. I don't think he's 100%. And Devon is taking advantage. Short arm clothesline. It was with the left. He has less power in his left hand, but more speed. That's what he uses for those jabs. Now Devon again with the Fisherman's Buster. Tremendous performance, and I can't say that enough. because again, you just don't know how guys are going to react when they have to deal with the number of just tremendous opponents that Devon Andrews had to see. But he is obviously doing great work here against Lancelot. Another 2 count from Devon. Excellent performance all around. But obviously Lancelot just has that championship gear. 127 titles don't lie. It could be 128 come Broadway, but that's a long way to go, and Lancelot rather has to figure out Devon Andrews first. Lancelot up to his feet. That's one way to do it. Look at this. That is the speed that we associate with Lancelot. He can get back into a match so quickly. The short arm clothesline, no. Rainmaker style clothesline. It's already won 1 match today. Lancelot was hoping to make it 2. Lancelot, oh, he's gonna walk the ropes. What a drop kick. Devon was able to, oh! Well, again, a rare moment of predictability from Lancelot, but the toughness that comes standard in every Lancelot match. Andrews just waxed him with that punch. Lancelot kicks out at 1, Andrews back on top, but the doubt has to be creeping in a little bit. You hit him with a punch like that, can't even get him down for 2. That's been part and parcel of Lancelot's career in GAW so far. Devon takes the run up and another PK. Such a heavy strike-based offense for Devon, more ground and pound. Devon just letting loose. And again, now it's an anaconda vice from Devon Andrews, not known as a submission guy by any stretch of the imagination. But he might have Lancelot on the ropes here. Lancelot able to turn it over. Great core strength from the former champ. And now Lancelot might be able to use that to his advantage. Power bomb! Lancelot let it fly. Devon able to catch the strike on the outside, but suddenly it seems like Lancelot's evened this match in terms of damage anyway. That power bomb over the top. 3. That cannot feel good for Andrews. That slam can't feel good for Lancelot. 4. Just tremendous fight from both men. 5. You can tell how much this match means. Oh, more ground and pound by Devon. 6. Again, he's got something to prove. You see what it means to him. Back into the ring he goes. Lancelot has to shake off 7. Multiple attacks, multiple slams onto the hard ground. Into the ring he goes. Devon trying to take advantage. Saito suplex, he pulled him back. And a cover here from Devon Andrews, another kick out at 1. Lancelot, he's getting tougher as this match goes. Harder and harder to bring down is Lancelot. And Lancelot just obliterated Devon Andrews with that lariat, turned him inside out. Lancelot, quick as you like. Just blasts the most dangerous free agent with a lariat for the ages. You want to talk about a statement set? Omega Woods said that Lancelot is the hollowed out shell of his former self. You tell me that now, looking at what he just did, what he just survived, even after the 3 strikes match. I think Santanico and Omega Woods have more to worry about. If there's one thing we know about Pretty Bad Deal in the Las Vegas connection, we get better every week. So Hernandez and Park, the men we are now, we're different than the guys you beat a couple months ago. And if you give us another shot, we'll show you exactly what we mean. And I know you will. I know you too. you can't resist. And that's going to be the downfall. That's why PBD, the Las Vegas Connection, we're going to reign supreme one day soon. Hey, what the hell are you? Ah! Oh my God! Who are these men? Pretty Bad Deal has just been assaulted. Jon Gotti walking out of the shadows. But who are these men? Many of you have been under the misimpression that Chandler Marcy's agreement to join the family was the one thing we were after when we came here. I do not wish to be rude, but I don't believe you were listening closely enough. Business cannot be done with just one more man, even a man as promising and intimidating as Mr. Marcy. Which is why I have purchased the services of these gentlemen. Derek Cole, these men are not for you. They are not for the Las Vegas Connection. These men are for the tag team champions, Eddie Hernandez and Yunsan Park. You do not know fear, my friends. When was the last time you truly feared you would lose your titles? I do not mean you feared you may not perform at your best. You are too professional for that. I mean the fear that comes from knowing that even at your best, you cannot hold on to your precious gold. This is the fear of the Gotti crime family. This is the fear of the Demon Wolves. And they will be coming for you. And to Mr. Cole, watch yourself. I do not want a problem with you, but if you stand in the way of my business, Hernandez and Park will not be the only ones to feel fear.
Show me the product, we could've done it. Everything going crazy, it's I'ma get it. And I just wanna move on and not regret it. But the past is too dark, it just kept getting. Securing the nails in the coffin.
As if there could be another layer to all of this. The Las Vegas Connection, Derek Cole, TJ Frost, all of these people. Now there's another layer. Because as much as Jon Gotti says that, what did he call them, the Demon Wolves are not here for LVC, can we really believe him? Nothing Jon Gotti has done since coming to GAW has elicited trust by any stretch of the imagination. But Kurt Andrews and the rest of us have to keep focused. You can hear some new music for Kurt as well. And he's hoping that this will one day accompany the Apex champion. But he's got to get through two of the baddest men on the planet in order to do it. So you can listen to all of GAW's music, that's entrance themes, the music to accompany our special events, all of it, over on our Spotify playlist. Link is down in the description. Will this be the music of an Apex champion? Well, it may not even be the music of a #1 contender. Here in season 3, you may not be aware of how dominant Midnight was in season 2. He made his debut at that time, brought in the Raw Championship. Midnight is the man who brought that title to General Admission Wrestling, claiming it as the Underground's championship. He held it for the better part of a year and set records across the board. He defeated Lee Carr to win the title for the first time, the inaugural match back at Storm Chaser City. That was March of 2021. He held the title for 357 days, made 14 defenses against some of the baddest men in general admission wrestling, including Derek Cole himself. So that is the man walking into this #1 Contenders match. He is as good as they come in general admission wrestling. But of course, he lost the title to Santanico at Nitro in a battle of undefeateds. Santanico came out on top. Midnight made his return at the Rumble on the Beach. And much like Kurt Andrews, he's looking to reestablish himself here. Kurt Andrews is the only two-time Apex champion in Evolution history. He's defeated men like Garrett Gibson for that championship. But ever since losing it for a second time, he has not been able to ascend those heights again. Now it's a blockbuster from Andrews as he's trying to get back there against Derek Cole. This is just such an incredible match to be able to witness, given the stakes. And you can look at both of these men's contributions to general admission wrestling over on the website, generaladmissionwrestling.com. Yankee Destroyer from Midnight. He is so quick and unpredictable with it, and he might be the #1 contender though. Over on the website, there's full histories of all of our championships dating back to 2005, and for Evolution, it's dating back only the last year, but already we've begun to fill those sheets out. More and more champions, more and more challengers, and some of the greatest that we have to offer. Andrews up to the top rope, and a diving forearm caught Midnight right in the forehead. Midnight was totally unaware, but it's still a 1 count. Derek Cole now has to be watching his back at every occasion. Look at this, Andrews double underhook. He's looking for the eye of the storm, but Midnight, Alabama slam. Midnight was all over that, and now Midnight turns him around. What a strike, Midnight. He's got in the standing dragon sleeper, the dream state. We rarely see it from him as he prefers the sleepwalker. Kurt Andrews battling. And Andrews, I think, was able to free himself only momentarily. Midnight into the cover. Midnight, wait a minute, what is this? What is this, Dagonite? Dagonite is coming in, the referee's turned his back. Ingress is into the ring. Reaper's embrace on Midnight. Ingress is out. The man who made sure Midnight was eliminated from the Rumble on the Beach. The referee missed it all. Midnight's down. And Kurt Andrews, what an opportunistic son of a gun. Andrews, eye of the storm. Kurt Andrews is going to win this thing. Kurt Andrews is your #1 contender for the Apex Championship. Midnight was robbed. The dream state, I think it choked Andrews unconscious. But now Midnight is out. Reaper's embrace, eye of the storm. And we have a new #1 contender. So Derek Cole's going to be looking over his shoulder. But as of right now, Kurt Andrews in pole position to become the first ever 3-time Apex champion. He's got one hell of a mountain to climb to do it. 3 more weeks before we head to the Manhattan Center for Battle at Broadway. So please subscribe. You will not want to miss a